Jotsky looking for that damage, finds him on the Diablo. Diablo forced it back out as their health drops low. The Immortal now is at 25%.
Back down Yo on the Greymane, gonna be the first to fall. But is it ETC? No, that's Malthael up there. A triple.
The ley line used in the back, catching 3 people on top. That followed up by the APOC and the lurking on. Catching 2, but this time on is gonna be the first one.
Wow, did you see that mosh pit? 4-man mosh pit while on a conveyor belt. That was like a regular sushi.
There's the lead, catches him in the mud pit. Time trap does pop. Mosh pit goes out. Ruby's still in trouble. Pops to stay a while and listen, but it's not going to matter.
Here comes the bloodlust on the backside. The Visual gets under and then stunned. Oh my goodness! The combo!
Getting shrunk down, ETC getting killed. He becomes dog food for the Greymane.
I didn't think they had a chance. I thought it was all over. We said all or nothing, and they got absolutely everything.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Nexus gaming series. Sorry for a little bit of a late start tonight. Had some tech issues, but I'm Arrow. I'm going to be your caster tonight, and we're going to be catching a game in C East between the Nexus Cats and Almost Legends Ruby. And these are Nexus Cats is a team that's been around for quite some time, longer than my own experiences with the Regen fam. And then Almost Legends, we actually played against Almost Legends in our first season as Regen Red, or at least my first season as Regen Red. So they have also been around for quite some time. So some long-standing names in the Nexus Gaming Series business. That being said, because of the delay, we're ready to go. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hop right into it. I'm gonna show you real quick the standings and the maps. Here's the maps real quick. So we had the bans from Almost Legends onto Brax's Holdout and 2 Minutes Spider Queen. Nexus Cats. That actually shows a little small. Might have to fix that. Nexus Cats, they banned out the Cursed Hollow and Sky Temple. Our first map was selected by Almost Legends Ruby. On the right, they're our red team, and that works out really well. And that's going to be Infernal Shrines. Quick look at the standings. Standings? Hello? Standings? Okay, maybe not. Standings? There we go. Quick look at the standings for the season so far. We do see that Nexus Cats have 6 points so far. Almost Legends Ruby there have 21. Okay, so they just have a small logo. Fair enough. All right, draft. Here's what we've got. Our first pick, gonna be that Rhaegar. So we had the bans out onto Brightwing Jaina coming from the Nexus Cats. Johanna and Stukov from Almost Legends Ruby. The answer to the Rhaegar, of course, Tychus and Leoric. They're going to have that percent damage, a lot of percent damage between those two heroes. Tychus with his minigun, and then, of course, Leoric with his Drain Hope. Giving a little bit of extra healing to himself as well. Sonia, a strong pickup on Infernal Shrines, able to just kind of hang out and take care of those Shrine minions entirely solo. Leoric, of course, can do the same, just in bigger, slower bursts, essentially. Tassadar, a strong hero on a map like this where you have a lot of these kind of small entry points into the shrines. And so if they're an entry point, in this case, they're an exit point as well. And Tassadar going to allow them to lock those heroes down. Garrosh, a good ban from Almost Legends Ruby. Not something you want to be on the wrong side of a force wall. If you've got that throw, that wrecking ball throw from the Garrosh, force wall would prevent anybody from making it across. And final ban going to be the Diablo. So Diablo going to get taken out. Strong hero on the Infernal Shrines. Diablo map. Diablo running on the map. You know, it just kind of makes sense. It's good compromise to run there. Still have a lot of available tanks though. You've got there's the Murden Anduin. So you could see here a Dwarf Toss Murden jumping in with a Light Bomb, following it up with a Stormbolt to get a pretty significant amount of stun time there, giving Tychus then a whole lot of time to sit there with that minigun just shredding away. Final DPS here going to be the Junkrat, and Junkrat is a really strong hero on Infernal Shrines, has those traps and concussion mines to provide zoning. And then May going to be the final pickup for the Nexus Cats. Good evening, Chris. Welcome. Doing a little casting tonight, so we'll be watching some video games tonight. And we're gonna get Mephisto. Mephisto, I like this Mephisto pick. You take Endurance of Hate. You've got an easy target in a May or a Tassadar. You can just throw it out there and make it happen. All right. I should probably get these heroes input, huh? Got a few seconds. Well, there are our teams as we get ready for game number 1 on Infernal Shrines. And just as a reminder, there is a 30-second delay on the stream. So if it seems like I missed you, it's just because you know, it takes some time. Titus, Cubo, it's Mephisto. Tychus, Mephisto, Muradin, Bogdan, and Wiggity. Challenge when there's a whole bunch of people on the team, making sure you have all the right players there. Arc Zombie is the best May I've ever seen. No offense, Snag. Well, fair enough. Rank 1 May coming in. Oh gosh. Yeah. All right, here we go. Game number 1 on Infernal Shrines between the Nexus Cats on the left and Almost Legends Ruby on the right. We'll get started off here to the right. It's going to be Cue Ball 162 there on the Mephisto, Conflicted playing the Leoric, Krogdon on the Muradin, King going to be playing the Tychus, and Wiggity on the Anduin. Over to the left, it's going to be the Nexus Cats. We've got Lulu playing Rhaegar, Cawthon on the Sonia, Arthanau going to be on that Junkrat, Pet Wolverine on the Tassadar, and Mark Zombie playing apparently the best May that the Doctor has ever seen. So there you go. You heard it in chat first. Well, May gonna get a little bit of damage from that Stormbolt and a smash from the heavy mace of the Skeleton King there, Leoric. But ultimately, May able to make it out. May does have that unstoppable with her cryo freeze, so she's not instantly in danger just because she takes a bit of damage. But a little bit of a brawl to start out the match with Sonia and Leoric heading up into the top lane. Sonia getting a little bit of a head start on that. And Mark Zombie there slowing down the team, using that blizzard to make sure that everybody on the red side has to take a little bit longer of a trip to get through. That said, Pet Wolverine gonna get caught by the Muradin, missed the Stormbolt, and a little bit of a knockback just from that icing. Not quite the perfect time to prevent Muradin from escaping, but enough to keep that Tassadar nice and healthy and on the map. So no kills just yet. 1 minute 10 seconds into this game. What game are we playing? I thought this was Heroes of the Storm, where if you don't have a kill in the first minute, you automatically lose the game and you have to just restart. I thought that's how this game worked. All right, well, Leoric in the middle has everybody rotating down. Can Wraith walk away? So gonna see him getting down to about 750 health, pretty low overall, but is able to make it out. Rotations coming in from both teams as the Nexus Cats have their siege camp, doing a little bit of damage, not a whole lot, but getting a start on that tower. First shrine going to be in the mid lane, as we see level 4 now here for the Nexus Cats. Coming up soon for the Almost Legends Ruby team. I was gonna say the Legends, but they're Almost Legends. Can't call them the Legends. All right, let's check in on Sonia and Leoric. Two heroes that can provide themselves with some self-healing. Sonia going into that auto attack healing as well at that level 1. In addition to her Whirlwind, Leoric with the Ocean Renewal. So he's got that healing talent, gives him that 30%. And then, of course, the cooldown reduction with the healing globes over time. So those two are basically just going to be looking at each other in lanes for a good long time. First shrine coming up. This is a frozen Punisher, so this is going to be an important Punisher in the mid lane. Siege Camp already there in the mid lane for Ruby. However, Pet Wolverine, as the Tassadar, has to stand there for a bit, gets stunned. Leoric coming in, tries to throw out that spooky hand, but can't quite get the job done there on that one. But they are going to get started on the shrine just a little bit before the cats can get in here. Now, again, I mentioned this earlier. I really like the Junkrat here. Junkrat has a lot of zone potential, has a lot of vision with his traps and with his concussion mine, giving them control. Speaking of that concussion mine, Tychus thrown out rather there. Murden's going to get caught by the spear, but is not going to fall. It's actually going to be Sonia falling here first. Arthanau now having to use that concussion mine to get himself out of danger. May now getting caught by the Stormbolt. Krogdon trying to see if they can finish it, but the icing will get May out of danger, and that's going to get this first Punisher most likely going over to Almost Legends Ruby. Good evening, Nomi. Welcome. All right, checking in on these level 7 talents. Nexus Cat's getting there a little bit faster because although there was that kill that gave Ruby some XP, Junkrat going down into the bottom lane there, picking up the XP from those minions. Take notes, Nomi. All right, Punisher leaping over the wall there. May getting brought down to about half health. Had to use Cryo Freeze just to keep healthy. A few seconds away from the Punisher jumping, but it's not going to matter. The Punisher going down very quickly. And Sonya coming in, looking for this rotation, is going to get the... Oh, is not going to get the spear. That spear was looking for a jumping Muradin, but didn't quite land as the Stormbolt instead manages to stall out that Sonya for just a moment. So not a ton of value, but did get that full wall down in mid lane for Ruby. So they've got a little bit of an advantage in that. The XP very similar, so either team could make their way to 10 first at this point, but Sonya's up in the top by herself, pushing this up, so that's a little bit more XP that she could potentially be getting for the Nexus Cats. And now opening up that wall, basically getting just about as much value as the Almost Legends team got from their Punisher. Hey, Bucknut, welcome. Good to see you, buddy. Wonders why Arrow isn't a professional sports commentator. I would have to like sports. I mean, I suppose I wouldn't have to. All right, here comes the Siege Camp as well. And this is not a big surprise. Both teams very close to level 10. So at this point, you know, Ruby is saying, hey, let's get this out, get a little bit of XP. And there's that level 10. Gives Ruby a quick advantage, but not quite in a position to get Sonya. So really, this is just going to run the timeout until the Nexus Cats can get their level 10s as well. So there you go. Taking a look here. So I did mention that Endurance of Hate. Fully expected to see that. You have a couple of fairly easy targets to hit on the side of the Nexus Cats. Also, Leoric with the Entomb and Muradin Light Bomb is going to be a thing. Could also be a Mephisto Light Bomb, though, depending on placement and timing and all that good stuff. Rip Tire, of course, for Junkrat. It is going to be the Bloodlust out of Rhaegar. So look for the Nexus Cats to pop that Archon and just go ham. Arrows live. Hey, HK, there's the snowball there coming, the avalanche rather, from Mark Zombie. Did not manage to hit the targets, and so Almost Legends Ruby going to be able to pull out of danger. I am just commentating, Bucknut. I am the observer. I see all. Want to know what they see? Let's take a look at what they see. So we will see how things look from Anduin's perspective. So this is the red team that we can see right now. You can see that all of the blue team heroes are gone, except for Sonya, because Sonya's within the vision range. Might expect to see the Nexus Cats coming down here any moment now, and there they are, coming in from behind their wall. Murden's going to get that Stormbolt, getting a stun out onto the Junkrat here. Next Punisher in the bottom lane. Mortar Punisher coming up. So this is the one that throws out a bunch of basically grenades in a zone. So you don't want to be a hero standing in those grenades. You'll take a whole lot of damage. All right, there's May getting caught by the Chastise. That'll be down for a few seconds. So for the moment, Nexus Cat's getting a commanding lead here, but here comes Tychus with the Odin. Leoric gets that Entomb. There's the light bomb, manages to hit onto 2 and stall out that Bloodlust. Lulu trying to get away, gonna be the second one to fall on the side of the Nexus Cat's coffin now, running away from the Mephisto. Shade of Mephisto coming in as Sonia gonna be able to make it back to the fort. However, Root going out onto May, but it's Artha now there. Suicide Vest coming down, gonna get a little damage, I think, there onto Leoric, but not much. And there's the disengage avalanche, 4-man stun. Mark Zombie basically saying, I want you all to think about what you've done for 2 seconds, because that's how that ability works. Bucknut, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it, buddy. Up in the top lane, Mephisto trying to keep the damage limited in the top fort. So there are a number of people here who are not familiar, so let me give you a quick highlight of basically how this works. On this particular map, they're trying to control these shrines. They do that by killing the defenders, and you'll see that at the bottom right next time we have the shrine. There's Murden jumping in all by himself. Icing's gonna throw Murden off to the side. Sonya did get the kill on a Mephisto up in the top lane there. But that's all the action we're going to see here. So these lanes have these small minions right here. These guys right here. These are worth a lot of XP over the course of the game. And they meet. They fight in the middle. But eventually, they push into these forts. And to win, you have to kill the core. You can't kill the core, though, until you have taken down a fort and a keep in the same lane. There are 3 lanes, top, mid, and bottom. Often versus Conflicted. The Leoric with that Entomb able to hold the Sonya down for a brief moment there. A lot of damage out on the top fort, so a bit of a consolation prize. However, 2 forts down now for the Nexus Cats. That's a lot of value that Ruby was able to pick up from that Punisher. Let's take a look at these level 13 talents now. Hey, Nick. Good to see you, buddy. And Max. All my friends are here. It's so wonderful to see you. Bottom lane's going to have a siege camp going out. This should encourage a response from Ruby as we see them starting to rotate down to clear that up. They don't want to leave that to get too much damage. These siege minions are able to attack from enough range that the tower defenses are not able to hit them. So they're a constant threat. It takes a while, but they're a constant threat that you don't want to just leave alone, because eventually they will take down your structures. Good evening, Uru. Good to see you. Now, Leoric up here, again, I mentioned earlier, Leoric has that Wraithwalk. He can unstoppable himself. Now, it's not a very long time, so that is gone. This is where they could make a big play, getting this Leoric. There's an avalanche to get rid of the Mephisto, but here comes the light bomb. Is going to land on the Tassadar. Tassadar in danger. Cannot get away, I don't think, as Bloodlust was used there as well. Tassadar's body going way off the screen, somewhere over there. Lulu now in danger. Rhaegar with the 4 health, and that's going to be another kill for Almost Legends. Tychus with the Odin now, making use of that increased range to get some significant damage onto this keep wall. And the Murden Light Bomb combo has been quite devastating with the going into that Bloodlust. Each time they've managed to get that onto the Tassadar and take the Tassadar out relatively quickly. Leoric with the Entombs helping out a lot as well. But that's the combo that the Nexus Cats are really going to have to be watching for. And how can they deal with that? Probably the best way to deal with that is a Junkrat Mine. And if Tassadar can make use of the Concussion Mine, standing on it or near it, close enough to it. Oh, here we see Coffin getting stunned, has the Entomb, so probably not going to make it out of this one. Hey, Melissa, good to see you. Welcome. We're actually streaming tonight because Melissa had a live gig tonight. So everybody can thank Melissa for going out and doing IRL music shenanigans tonight so that I could have the night off to do some casting. I'll throw you guys some shout outs here when I'm not in the middle of the game here. All right. No Sonia for a few more seconds, and already 26 defenders. I mentioned these defenders. These are these little guys up here that are dying very quickly. They don't have a whole lot of health. So 37 out of 40. Once they get 40, they'll get an Arcane Punisher. And the Arcane Punishers, they drop lasers on the ground that rotate in a slow-moving circle, but they're a pretty big pain in the neck. Think of Mario. Look at that. Look at that laser, right? Just like Mario with the fireball lines in Bowser's Castle. You gotta avoid those or you take a whole bunch of damage. Thanks, Bucked Up, for gifting a sub to Melissa. I appreciate that. All right, here comes Leoric. Looking, has the Entomb, does manage to land on the tube. There's the Bloodlust, keeping... Oh, there's the Cryo Freeze, keeping May alive for another moment, but not quite long enough. Conflicted is going to fall. Wiggity in danger there as Sonia doing an absolute truckload of damage, but Pet Wolverine just cannot get there. Doesn't have the movement speed. Rhaegar going to fall to Tychus, and now Tassadar not looking like he's in great place here. That may very well be the last fight we see out of this game as the Punisher finishing off the keep, and with Odin coming in, Ruby is going to make their way onto the core. Krogden jumping in, trying to get the stun onto Arthanel. Not a ton that Junkrat's going to be able to do here, just trying to, you know, pad some numbers, increase those damage stats for the season. But it's looking very much like Ruby gonna take game number 1 here on Infernal Shrines. Oh, quick avalanche there just to finish it up. Just to throw a little bit of, you know, a little bit of chill out motion for Ruby. Felt good to get back out there, but missed you all. Absolutely. And let's see if some of my hotkeys weren't working either, so hopefully that is... There we go. That worked. All right, let's see. Who do we got here? So Melissa's here, and we've got HK is here. Now, I've got the stats up here, so while I do that, I'm gonna just, you know, tell you who some of these folks are. So Melissa Brett Music is a musician. She is live Monday mornings, 10 to noon, Thursday evenings normally, 8:30 to 10:30 p.m., and Saturday at the same time. And HK, I don't know HK's schedule just because of the fact that I don't mod for HK, so I apologize, but HK does a variety of things, including music. So make sure you check both of their streams out for some enjoyable times. There's some talents here as we wait to hear back for where we're going, what we're doing. The way this works, it's a best of 3 series. In fact, I should probably give them their point. Best of 3 series. And the losing team gets to choose whether they want to have the first selection or if they want to have the map selection, as there are 10 maps available, I think. Code Rashawn, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Why don't we go ahead and come back to me? Hello, everybody. Welcome. I didn't have the... Oh, sorry. I forgot. I don't know why my desk is not as stable as it normally is, but welcome to my office, my room. It's not my room, but whatever. Welcome. Good to have you here. My Monday mornings. Did I say... I don't know. Whatever I said. It's good to have everybody here. Thanks for coming by. If you're here as part of the Heroes of the Storm community from Nexus Gaming Series, of course, it's always wonderful to see you. And if you are not from the Nexus Gaming Series community, welcome. Nexus Gaming Series is a seasonal amateur Heroes of the Storm league. That's about right. Where a wide variety of skilled players, from completely new to seasoned veterans, get together and duke it out over the course of approximately 10 to 14 weeks, depending on how far you go into the playoffs, and then do it again after a couple months. So that's where we're at right now. We're in the middle of season 13, and I believe this is week 8, so we're pretty far into the season. Speaking of the standings, which is essentially what I'm talking about, let's take a look at where we've got Almost Legends Ruby there at second place, 21 points out of 24. And of course, that will go up now 1 additional point. Next, Nexus Cats there sitting at number 9 with 6 points. They're pretty far away from that number 8 spot. And number 8 is where the playoffs cut off. So I don't know how many more matches they have to go. Obviously, with 13 teams, there may even be more. Maybe 14. Let me actually check that. Yeah, okay, 13. So 13 teams in the division. Quite a few teams to be keeping track of, ultimately. All right, let's take a look again at the maps. Our third map is going to be... It's going to be Battlefield of Eternity. So the other Diablo map, it looks like this was also the selection of our red team. Let me put that up here for you. As we get into the draft. A little bit earlier than we were last game. Hey, Hamlin. Good to see you, buddy. Jugger Rob. Nick. Nomi's waving to Code with Sean as well. Uh-oh. Oh, Nomi, I love it. So, Nomi in chat there and I have a secret thing where we send each other squirrel pictures. And she just sent me one of a squirrel doing a looks like they're doing a game. Looks like they're playing a game. They got a little Red Bull. They've got their hand on the mouse and the keyboard. And I mean, they're probably gaming hard. I can only imagine how strong that squirrel is in the Heroes of the Storm. Okay, so Battlefield of Eternity. This is a little bit of a different map than what we just saw. There's still a very strong objective. However, the objective on this one is it takes place in the middle of the map, and there are only 2 lanes, a top and bottom lane, instead of 3. Both teams then are going to be fighting to defeat their opponent's objective, their opponent's immortal. And whichever team wins, whoever races through it fast enough, will get their immortal to assist them on the battlefield. And it's a very strong objective. So you tend to see either team comps that are focused around defeating those immortals, or team comps that are around defeating, just outright brawling and killing all the enemies, and then dealing with the immortal afterwards. So we'll see how this stacks up for these two teams as we get our 4th final ban of that initial round. Beginning here. Going to watch some college b-ball. Enjoyed back then. Pro gamer score for sure, yeah. And again, this is on a 30-second delay, so I will be a little bit delayed in responding to chat. Rhaegar going to be the first selection here. Would not be surprised to see more Anduin and, you know, the Muradin or the I mean, probably not Mephisto. Maybe Mephisto, probably not. Vala and Anduin. There's Anduin. So there you go. And there are other options that they can do that light bomb combo with. So not going to be surprised if we see some of that. Johanna, one of them, however, she's banned. They took her out right at the beginning. Same bans from Almost Legends as they had in game number 1. Jaina and Brightwing for this one, however. All right, so it looks like both teams picking up some race heroes. Li Ming and Vala both pretty strong on the race. Rhaegar can provide some value with that too. ETC there, the ye old Tauren, able to provide some stun value, some zoning potential for the Mark Zombie. Third ban coming from the Ruby, gonna be Raynor. Raynor, another hero that provides a pretty significant amount of race. Also has that penetrating round, which does a knockback. It pushes him away. So, you know, if I'm Nexus Cats, I'm actually kind of okay with that. I don't want to see a Raynor into my ETC if I can help it. That's just it's a pretty easy way to interrupt that mosh pit that ETC brings to the table. And of course, ETC, I mean, you almost have to go with that mosh pit, right? Is there even another ult. Mosh Pit providing a 4-second continuous stun for anybody that is close enough to be listening to ETC jam out. Burden gonna get banned, so they didn't want to give the, I don't want to say easy, but the same combo at least. Blaze gonna be picked up here for the offlane player. So we'll have to see what we get from the tank here. Arthur now going to pick up the Tychus, and Cawthon going on to that Garrosh. So kind of an interesting setup here. A full-on double tank. It may very well be that they took the Garrosh just simply to make sure that Ruby couldn't take it. Anubrak is another really good target, though, for that light bomb. So it'd be interesting to see how this one plays out. I figured we might see the Cawthon and Mark Zombie swap there. So we're going to see an offlane ETC versus the offlane Blaze. Should be an interesting setup. I think we're very likely to see the Anubrak receive that light bomb diving in again. Oftentimes you don't want to see your Anubrak just diving into your enemy team, but in this case, where you've got a light bomb, which provides a stun, also the shield. Do you really care that much if you don't have your disengage? If really all you want to do is go in, lock them down for some extra time, because now you've got 3 potential stuns coming out from Anubrak. So we'll see. All right, here we go. Game number 2 on Battlefield of Eternity. It's going to be on the right. Almost Legends Ruby King going to be playing the Vala. I don't think I have the pop-ups. Let's do the pop-ups. There we go. All right. Try that again. King going to be on the Vala. We got Q-Ball 162 on the Chromie. We got Wiggity on the Anduin. Krogdon going to be on the Anubrak. And Blaze going to be playing Conflicted. And by playing Conflicted, I mean Conflicted is going to be playing Blaze. Over here to the left, for the Nexus Cats, we have Lulu playing the Rhaegar. We got Arthana on the Tychus. We got Pet Wolverine there on the Li Ming. Mark Zombie on the Garrosh. And Cawthon going to be playing that ETC. Consults with my book person to make the bets. There you go. I could do bets. I don't remember how long they take to do that, so let me put this up. You know what? That's going to take too much time. I don't have the stream deck page open for that, so I'd have to load that, and I don't want to add more chaos to the mix. All right, so Chromie going into the deep breath. So Chromie over here, there's that deep breath, looking to hit the heroes and eventually provide significant slows as well when she hits those heroes. Tychus going into the grenade, wants to be able to throw the grenade deep into that backline, maybe hit that Vala, maybe hit that Chromie, but ultimately getting that significant value onto that backline. There's the throw out onto Nubrak, and Nubrak taking truckloads of damage, is going to pop that shield just to make sure that they can get away. And that's really what the Nexus Cats are hoping for, is the throw, getting that stun, and depending on who it is, if it's a Nubrak, then so be it. But if it's anybody else, Rhaegar also has a slowing totem. And of course, taking that level 1 Colossal Totem can move it. It's a wider area. That's going to make everybody else that's not a Nubrak move really slowly, trying to get out of danger. And that's exactly what you want when you've got a Tychus just sitting there shredding health bars. So ETC going into the auto attack build here with Guitar Hero, which modifies his guitar solo, giving him a little bit more auto attack ability in the solo lane there. And of course, Blaze going into that new habits for the Unstoppable. Time Trap there near Garrosh, so that they don't necessarily know that that's there. The red team knows that's here, but blue team does not. There's the stun onto the Anubrak. And Anubrak is going to use that shield once again. That 60 there is spell armor. That means that anything that's not a direct attack, anything that they have to push a button for, is reduced by 60%, at least until that shield is gone. We're going to see Vala head over here to the right, start working on the Shaman camp. as Tychus and Rhaegar doing the same for the Nexus Cats. And coming up, because ultimately Vala at this stage of the game doesn't have enough health really to deal with the significant damage that these Shaman Camp can provide. Now, sending these out, what this provides is it means that these mercenaries are going to come down and push into these lanes. You see here, Krogdon waiting, wants to clear that out, does not want to leave that for any length of time, because here's that Immortal that I was talking about. And with the race potential from Nexus Cats already getting started, bringing that halftime really quickly, Leeming's gonna be able to trigger the halftime, but a lot of damage coming out. Chromie's gonna be able to get a couple of sandblasts in there as well, but it looks like maybe the Anubrak could fall. ETC did get a stun, but 55, and there it is. Tychus going in with a little run and gun, getting first blood over to the Nexus Cats. In the bottom lane, Shaman Camp is going to get some wall damage before ultimately falling. Top lane, basically the same, not a lot. Both teams, however, gonna get the damage that they can out onto the Immortal. And it's important to note, even with the Anubrak down, the red team was able to pretty well keep up, at least for that half. So it was fairly close. We'll see how that changes over the course of the game. Vala going into that Hungering Arrow build, so as she gets more stacks, that could provide a significant lift. Leeming as well, depending on the build that she goes in, could provide more damage for that as than she's doing now as well. Tychus there, caught at half, is going to get caught by the Chastise and taken out. Deep Breath going to land perfectly. And that is going to push the Nexus Cats back. It only takes one kill. Depending on who it is, one kill can completely stop the oncoming pressure. So that gives Almost Legends Ruby the defensive breath of fresh air that they needed, because ultimately this could have been a fort. That fort could have gone down if things had gone just a little bit differently. That Chastise doesn't land, Tychus doesn't go down. You have to be a little bit careful. You don't want to have one of your heroes get thrown and have all that percent damage coming out onto your tank or really anybody that they can find. Blaze was looking at coming up to try to maybe get some stuns, just kind of help out in case, but ultimately going to have to come back down as ETC getting that value in the bottom lane. Put these away. Once again, just like last game, both of the teams are really close in overall experience. Very slight advantage over to Almost Legends, and really we can take a look at those experience numbers. I mean, a little bit more for the mercenaries, a little bit more for the heroes. That one mercenary camp, basically the primary difference. We're gonna see Ruby come down and pick up one more siege camp, maybe. Nubrak keeping track of where the ETC is, but ETC may not know that he's there, especially when there are 4 heroes down here. Vala, Anduin, all that going on down here. That leaves top, however, rather exposed, and they recognize that. That's going to be that fort that I was talking about. There's the throw, but jet propulsion is going to get Blaze out of danger. The question is now, how much can Almost Legends Ruby get out of this? They've got the siege camp behind, the rotation coming in from Nexus Cats. ALR, they've got about a half a level of XP advantage right here, but it's actually going to be the race that they're looking for. So race advantage once again going to be over to the Nexus Cats. Halftime is going to get completed there. Garrosh is going to get stunned, as is Tychus. Big stun out onto the Anubrak, and he doesn't have a way out of this other than walking, and he does so slowly and purposely. So manages to get out of the danger zone there. Neither team quite up to level 10, as we see both of them heading, just going to try to get whatever race they can. Conflicted pretty low, so trying to come in on this, and ETC sitting on that time trap doesn't know it's there. Ultimately able to finish the Immortal. So once again, it's going to be our blue team, the Nexus Cats, having the Immortal, but they don't have level 10s yet. Chromie, of course, cheating, getting her ultimate ability a little bit earlier than the rest of both teams. She gets out of all of her talents 2 levels early. And ETC is going to come in, is right underneath the fort. Big taunt on top of that with the Garrosh, though. Coffin is just going to make it out. And that's the kind of ballsy play that they kind of have to make. Based on that last match, they've got to look for the opportunities wherever they can. And a full health ETC who's got a little bit of extra armor, taking those tower shots, finding that mosh pit, and helping to secure 2 kills is a great way to start it. The Immortal going to go down here, but that is a lot of damage. Both keep towers there are going to be gone. Lulu now stuck in the slowing sands. The slowing sands going down, though, so Rhaegar might actually be able to get away. Garrosh not so lucky. Oh, there you go. Cocoon's going to come out. Rhaegar is pretty much toast. There you go. But you know what? If you're the blue team, if you're Nexus Cats at this point, that is a huge win because you got 1 fort in the bottom lane. You got the 1 fort in the top lane. You're going to lose a little bit in the XP here for a moment. You're going to lose the siege camp. You lost 2 heroes. Those heroes come back. The structures don't. And with those structures going down, oh, ETC, oh, buddy. That was so close. With those structures going down now, you see right here, this guy right here, these catapults provide a lot of extra damage. And just like those siege minions, they're able to attack the structures from a range. So you cannot allow your lane pressure to mount against you in those lanes, or you will eventually lose the game. So that means now Almost Legends has to be paying attention to both of those lanes for the rest of the game. That's a great place for Nexus Cats. It means that they can afford to be a little bit more aggressive, just like with that mosh pit that they had. And ETC knows that all this is going on up here. With that vision, Nexus Cats doing exactly what they need to do. Get some damage onto this keep, but they don't have a lot of time. Here comes the red team. They'll be back in a moment. There's Bloodlust. They want to take this keep down. It might... Oh, what a throw. Mark Zombie throwing the blaze away, making sure that that does not land. That jet propulsion does not land. So no stun for the blaze. Mark Zombie pulling the team back, knows he's going to fall, but ultimately has to kind of sacrifice himself. But we might see another kill as Arthanel trying to get away, but doesn't really have that potential. Rhaegar and ETC getting a little bit of damage onto the Immortal, but it's not much. So the gamble, not quite what they were hoping for. They really wanted to get this keep down. Having that down would have meant constant catapult pressure and would have been really, really helpful. But instead, they're going to lose the first half time of the game for them. Oh, man. Nomi, I wish I knew what you were laughing about. Unfortunately, the 30-second delay makes it very difficult to keep track of those things. Zoom out here so we can see both of the teams. And just like we've seen with the prior Immortals, halftime picked up by the one team, and their overall race is very similar. So Nexus Cats were able to get close to half of the shielding down. So how this works is whatever amount of health that your Immortal has going when you win, you get it as a shield, and then it gets its full health bar aside from that. I was gonna say we see the ping there, the danger ping. There's the stun, but it was missed here. We've got the mosh pit coming out. It's gonna get interrupted, but the big taunt, another massive Warlord's challenge, layered this time on nothing. No mosh pit to come in on top of that. That was just purely walking up and making sure to catch the Anduin, catching the Vala, and 2 kills there. Even I forgot. Indeed. No worries.
The demon has fallen, but he will rise again.
The demon has fallen, but he's going to rise again, and it's going to be in a few minutes, somewhere around 3-4 minutes or so, roughly. That's a big catch if they can get this kill. Timeout coming from Chromie. That's 5 seconds. It's almost done. There it is. There's the leap of faith. Pulling Chromie to safety. Blaze has that bunker. ETC is going to get put into the cocoon, and this is a double kill here. Vala with that great multi-shot, finishing the job. I think it was multi-shot anyway. ETC probably in danger here. Doesn't have any way out of this. Has the rock star for the additional movement, but it's not going to matter. At least getting a pretty significant amount of cooldown reduction from the encore, allowing then for Mosh Pit to be up. So 8 seconds. Nope, that's Rhaegar. 3 seconds. So Mosh Pit will be available when they come back. But this is where Almost Legends is starting to come into a really strong position. That 5-second timeout from Chromie, allowing her to survive, was exactly what they needed in order for the what potentially was a major problem for them. Losing Chromie would have been huge, and turning it instead to 2 kills and now a fort down. We've got camps coming out. The camp that they essentially stole, their own camp, and then the siege camp that they stole from their opponents. So a lot of map pressure coming in from Almost Legends Ruby, really doing a great job to counteract the catapults that they've got coming in. And you can see these red lines of minions coming in the map here, the small map at the bottom right of the screen. All right, we see the retreat brings there. I'm assuming that's from the Nexus Cats for the Garrosh. A little bit pulling back. ETC looking, has the slowing sands in that big red zone. Well, the red circle around the yellow zone is a significant slow. That is this ability right here. And ETC getting caught because of that time trap. And what great positioning here from Cue Ball with those time traps. ETC has no idea that honestly that has been sitting on time traps most of the game. They provide vision and ultimately allow for setting up those big plays there. Nubrak going to get pulled out by the Leap of Faith. The taunt coming out onto Blaze. Blaze is also going to get pulled out with the Leap of Faith. However, has the bunker. Lulu going in, used the Bloodlust and could not find a target. Ultimately, the ranged getting that kill. And Bloodlust is an ability that makes all of your characters bigger, gives them increased attack speed, and also heals you when you attack heroes. However, if you can't attack heroes because you are a melee only character, then you don't get any of those benefits. You get a little bit of movement speed out of it. That's the best thing you get. And against a Vala, against a Chromie, if they're able to kill you before you get to them, then oh well. All right, second immortal here for Almost Legends Ruby coming into the bottom lane as the keep wall is going to get taken out. Garrosh getting caught by that time trap, but ultimately going to be able to walk away. Timing just a little bit off on that. Looking for the stun, did not get it there on the Anubrak. Cawthon maybe looking to try to kind of poke this Blaze and get him to overcommit. Maybe take some damage from the tower shots. Garrosh having to use the Indomitable to get out of danger there. And that is going to be the first keep of the game going down in favor of Almost Legends Ruby. And of course, keep in mind, same lane, they still have a healthy third or so of their keep. So ultimately, if Nexus Cats decide they want to kind of go all in and take that out, they could do that. They have the ability, they have the damage to be able to do that, but they have to basically go for it like immediately. That's not really the direction that they're going to go, especially when they've got all of these minions providing vision. So the question that you have to ask yourself now is, do you fight? Do you want to go find somebody to fight? Or do you want to clear lanes, get that XP, look for that level 20? And level 20 provides significant benefits ultimately for both teams. Chromie already has that level 20 talent. There's the Blaze getting tossed, has the stun. Bunker is going to come out, unstoppable used by Blaze. The jet propulsion is going to get a big stun. ETC's just going to get interrupted there out of the mosh pit. So no kills so far, as the Cocoon taken out there as well. So all of the ultimates out except for Tychus. And the Leap of Faiths just keep coming. Vala there having to get away, doesn't have a whole lot of health, but the bombs from Cue Ball just dropping this Dragon's Breath everywhere. Jet Propulsion missing onto the ETC, and into the fray is going to throw ETC out of the fray. Hey, Bell, good to see you, buddy. Been a long time. I'm assuming that is Balalos. Balalos was one of the team members, I believe the captain at the time of Almost Legends when we played against them in my first season of Nexus Gaming Series. Was also a caster. Top lane has the one keep left here for the Nexus Cats, so ultimately these Immortals will be going down the lane that has the most defenses, whoever wins it. So that's going to be top lane. No matter who wins, it's going to go top lane because both teams have their top keeps up, and it's a strong one for Ruby here. And this is, so far, that was really great. This is about the best you could hope for if you're Nexus Cats, because you want the defensive value of the Immortal while you're trying to get to level 20. The problem is they can't really leave it to go get the XP. They want to get to that level 20, but they can't, because then the enemy team will come in. Gets the stun onto Blaze. Blaze is going to jet propulsion out. Time trap out onto Rhaegar. Rhaegar's in danger. Here comes the light bomb. Bloodlust is used. Can they get Rhaegar out? Bunker is going to drop as well, and that provides some zone protection in addition to the armor. ETC with a great 3-man mosh pit, but everybody's so far away. Can they get the kills? They get the kill on Blaze. Vol is going to go down, but Li Ming's going to fall as well. Nubrac going deep into the back line and walking away. ETC's looking for that Chromie. I don't know if she still has timeout, but ultimately the pull is going to come out, and that was close. That could have been another probably 1 or 2 kills with Li Ming surviving if only there was maybe the briefest moment of communication before, or whatever communication they had. If they had 2 seconds earlier, that ETC mosh turns into a huge value for them. And ETC's not done, is sitting here just trying to make sure that things get stopped. They do have level 20 now, so ETC going into the death mosh has the ability now, anytime he dies, to give a nice long stun. Time out there used for Chromie is going to get the leap of faith out of danger. As the cocoon out onto Garrosh. Tyka's going to get caught by the light bomb. Can he make it out? No! So the Immortal now is going to fall in just a moment. ETC gets the slide out on a Chromie. There's no way she's got time out this time. What an absolute bloodbath. ETC gets thrown in looking for the Anubarak. There's the Mosh again, the encore performance doing some work. There's not a ton of damage though, so I don't know if they're able to kill the Anubarak. He does get the burrow charge over the wall. Rhaegar going in, trying to keep up. Can they disintegrate? No! Anubarak able to just make it out. Now keep in mind the shield gone on the core a little bit earlier, so 6% of that core has taken damage, and that doesn't come back. Top lane, a pretty healthy shield, about half of the Immortal's health worth of shield. But that goes by quickly when you've got the mirror ball value from Li Ming. But is it going to be in time to save the keep? You missed with those misses there, Wolverine. Not quite. Maybe if the missiles had all hit. Maybe. I'm not sure. We do have a couple catapults stacking up in the bottom lane, and it looks like Tychus is going to come down to deal with that siege camp over here for Almost Legends Ruby. And right now, Ruby is pretty much in control. Early on in this game, the Nexus Cats had the offensive pressure. They had pushed up, taken out both of the frontline defenses with those forts. And this was the moment right here, the play where they came down looking for the bottom keep, could not quite get it. And that was the moment things started to turn around in favor of Ruby. And Ruby now, all the pressure going into the blue half of the map. So it's gonna be like, this is, at this point, it's kind of like that mosh pit we saw early on, that first mosh pit under the fort. Can they find a way to make a really significant play without losing their core? Because that's the other thing with these camps coming in, it's tough to do that. That vision is giving Ruby a little bit of, yeah, I was gonna say it might be a little aggressive to try to go into that because they're just so close. Greased up and so absolutely, that was like, you know, trying to catch a grease pig, right? And listen, if you guys as kids never did any of that, going to the county rodeos and stuff like that, and trying to catch a grease pig, I'm sorry, it's a true experience. All right, well, top still is going to be a problem. They've got a second catapult coming in there. Eventually that will mount up and become deadly to the core for Nexus Cats, so they can't wait too long here. Time Trap's coming out. There's the Unstoppable. Time Trap still not used. I'm a little surprised. I think they could have taken that. Mosh Pit's going to come out only onto the Chromie. Is going to get double interrupted there. Tychus into the cocoon. Blaze gets into the bunker though, and Garrosh going to get taken out as he throws Blaze to the other side there. So just the one kill, but they have to deal with this. I mentioned this earlier. This is a big problem. So we're going to see halftime coming up in favor of Almost Legends Ruby. The siege camp here will take forever to get to that keep, so that's a nice easy clear for Blaze now. I don't know that Nexus Cats has the potential to wait until Garrosh comes in. ETC looking around. They've got this extra tank here, so ETC could provide them that. He's trying to keep that Anduin busy, but Anubrak down below. Keep in mind, again, we have another time trap. One down here at the bottom of your screen. Here's another one that just went out. Now looking for the Volok. Cawthon is. Gets the juke over that Rain of Vengeance, so no stun. Chromie's going to get that time trap, so ETC and the Chromie, but Chromie's going to fall. The Leap of Faith just a little bit too late this time. Blaze is maybe in danger here. But the Immortal picked up, so ultimately this is a big play for Almost Legends. There's Cocoon coming out. Light Bomb is there as well, but it's not going to matter. The knockback from the Encore is going to prevent that. Arthanau now trying to get away, was caught in that Cocoon, and Blaze was able to get close, but not quite there. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, I mentioned that Shaman camp. Actually, pretty significant value there, so we may see some craziness happening here. Bloodlust used, I think, primarily to try to get as much damage as they can onto this Immortal. They cannot let this get to the core. Chromie being out is huge. It gives Nexus Cats a chance. And you can see Almost Legends Ruby coming in, a couple of that front line sitting at half health. If they can keep the stuns and lockdowns going, this could net them the game. But Cawthon and Garrosh doing everything they can just to keep those heroes away. The two catapults in the back have to be dealt with. There they are. And now on the hunt, Nexus Cats try to see if maybe they can get to the team before Chromie catches up. But it looks like instead they might be looking to force a fight over the top camp. Looks like that's what maybe they were hoping for, is that they were coming up to this top camp. And Almost Legends Ruby said, nah, we're not going to do that. But that was... And that was crazy. I mean, in all seriousness, I thought that once the Garrosh was down, that this was going to be Almost Legends picking up an Immortal and then moving on toward the core fully staffed. But getting that kill out on a Chromie was huge for them. There's the Unstoppable. Garrosh not really in a great place to be able to pick up the Anubrak. There's ETC with the Mosh on Vala. If they can get this kill, that'd be huge, but the Leap of Faith is going to work. This time the Unstoppable coming out onto Garrosh there throws out the Light Bomb on Anubrak, so no danger there. But Light Bomb's a short cooldown. It's going to be back up in 45 seconds. Warlord's Challenge, that AoE taunt, is going to be up as well before then. Mosh Pit has a long cooldown, but they can shorten that with the Encore. The gang's all... Hey, Lisa! Let me... You know what? Literally nothing going on right now. I can do my shout out. Lisa music. There we go. Lisa's another music streamer. Did it work? There we go. Another music streamer that I mod for. So make sure you check her out. Both Melissa and Lisa, very relaxing music on Twitch here. So give them a follow. And you know, if you stop by, you'll probably see me there too. Just saying. And I don't think I have a Nomi command. I'm going to try. Nomi also does music on SoundCloud, but apparently I don't have that. There's the throw out onto Anubrak. He's going to get away, and the Warlord's Challenge is going to miss thanks to that burrow charge. ETC's going to power slide in, but no Mosh Pit. The Cocoon going out before the Mosh Pit came out, so it's, well, 30 seconds until that anyways. Bloodlust is going to allow Lulu to get away. Rhaegar trying to just, you know, put the paws out. Get pause. Pause. Get it? Rhaegar? Wolf boy? Whatever. Okay. A little bit of healing there onto the Rhaegar. Big throw, but once again, the timeout. So this is kind of where that becomes a bait, and we see Rhaegar kind of hanging out there, hoping they could get that kill, but it's not going to land. Once again, the Immortals in the defensive positions. So if you're going to get stuck, this is kind of the best place for it. There's the light bomb coming out. ETC waiting for that mosh pit. So looking for it maybe right now. There it is. 3-man is going to knock the Anubarak ultimately out, but the death mosh, a little bit of extra time here, but no damage. They cannot get it there. Anubarak's going to head back, and this now becomes, looks like maybe they'll get a keep out of this. Anubarak's going to deal with that, but it's not going to matter because up in the top lane here, all of this was here. Anduin's making their way. We got Blaze coming. We got Chromie coming. If Chromie and Vala can get to this, there's no shielding. This should fall pretty quickly and give ALR game number 2. So there you go. Where I go to rave. All right. Checking out the stats from game number 2. 9 kills to 17. Pretty similar in the overall hero damage there, alternating similar amounts between these top 2 with Chromie and Tychus. Take a look at these talents as well. And give me just a moment. We'll see if we can get an interview. All right, let me just get to the right channel for this. I don't think I've set this right. All right, looks like we are joined by, is it Krogdon? Is that how you say it? I'm not getting any sound from you. Hold on a second. Let me make sure that my system didn't change my Discord sounds. They sure did. 1 second. There we go. All right, try again.
All right. Hello.
There we go. So is it Krogdon?
Yeah, Krogdon.
Excellent. And we got Wiggity as well. So welcome. Congratulations on your victory. That was a pretty exciting matchup. That second game especially was... there were a lot of really intense moments. How's the team feeling after that game?
We're feeling good. Yeah, the second game was definitely a little mix up from that first game. But it was good. We're playing with sub, so shout out to Cue Ball for stepping in. But yeah, we had a little bit of trouble closing it out, but it was good.
Sure. So you're the tank player for Almost Legends Ruby here, and we had the Murden, we had the Anubarak. I mean, was the plan always just to say, hey, let's go light bomb and just dive in and call it a day and see what happens?
Sometimes, like I think on the first the first game, we saw kind of the back line, and that was more so the plan. I think there was a healer squeeze in some of the bans, so we kind of just wanted to pick Anduin just because he was strong, and then it kind of ended up like that in the second game. But I guess Wiggity can elaborate since he's the healer.
Yeah, I mean, with a tank that goes in, usually Light Bomb is my go-to. They just had a lot of interrupts, so even when I take Anduin, I'm forced to take that sometimes just due to their interrupt. But it's usually the plan: go in, Light Bomb, tear them up, let our DPS come in.
Sure. So you guys ultimately had the map pick on both of these maps, both of the Diablo maps, and it was pretty clear right out of the gate. Like as soon as you had the Anduin Murder, and I was like, okay, this is how this is going to go. And it was practically scripted throughout the encounters that you had with them. Murden, Lightbomb, Tacitar's dead, or Rhaegar's dead, and you've got the occasionally you've got Leoric coming in with that Entomb. So how much of the timing and coordination of that is like just clockwork for you guys at this point? Because it looked really polished, and how much of that is like really pre-planned out?
Krog and I we do pretty well with our comms when it comes to that. So we're letting each other know our ults are up, we're ready to go. And once I get the green light, it's all in, and our DPS is really quick to follow up. So yeah, it looks smooth, but some of us were like myself, I'm holding my breath during the whole time. Like we're panicking. It might look smooth, but like comms they get a little crazy. So no.
Sure. Well, and of course, Q-Ball coming in the chat saying, "Is this what love feels like?" and your good buddy Conflicted. Well, you're like a tolerated cousin at a reunion. So there you go. That's the real love right there. Knowing that that you're there just to fill in for when somebody can't make it. But it did look really strong today. So Almost Legends, I mentioned it at the beginning of the broadcast, and when Bell came in here as well, has been around for quite some time. How long have you guys been part of this organization?
This is my first season, and then Wiggity.
This is my second.
Okay.
With Almost Legends and NGS.
Gotcha, excellent. And is this the same division that you were in before, Wiggity?
The first season I was in C, and then last season I subbed for these guys.
In D, right?
Yeah. I only played 2 games, and then a main back in this for C. So CDC.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. And so getting into that second game, there were a lot of moments, and BOE is the kind of map where you're going to see some pretty significant brawly moments. I have to call out, there was one particular moment. There was one moment where they kind of started to lose momentum, which was that bottom keep. But that's not the kind of the really important defining moment, which was Cue Ball getting caught by the garage there over the siege camp on your guys' side, and then you guys turning that into 2 or maybe even a third kill. I think you got a third kill out of that.
Yeah,
and that's when things started to really mount in your favor. So the point that I'm bringing up is I want to shout out Cue Ball, because Cue Ball was hardcore top tier in this game. Like the time traps were always perfect. There were so many times Garrosh or ETC were just standing on them, and I was just waiting for that moment that was coming inevitably, like your burrow charge over that top top immortal fight that got you guys yet more kills. So I just had to shout out Cue Ball, because the play was really solid on this Chromie tonight, and it really brought a lot of value. But there was something else that was really fantastic, and I wanted to highlight this as well, and you can talk a little bit about this, is the leap of faith this game. When you've got an ETC and a Garrosh, we're almost 100% perfect. There was, I think, one that ended up missing. Again, to the source of communication and all that stuff, like, are people calling for these? Is this just you knowing that, hey, I got to do this? Or how much of this, again, is team focused and what they're calling for and what you're doing?
I'm anticipating a lot of them, but a lot of them were called out. Like when Chromie would get pulled in Time Trap herself, she would say she needs it. I'd try to get in position for that. We'd try to time it. When he comes out, I pull. So that's all communication. Other times are just anticipation. They had a lot of burst. If you got tossed, it was scary. So I almost had to do it right away and be close enough for that. So, yeah. And they forced me to take the double pull. It's not always something I do take at 16, but it was definitely like it was a must.
Sure. Well, and the follow up to that, which was the whole point of reason why I asked it in the first place, was there were a couple of times where it almost seemed like it might have been premeditated of like, hey, go in and do this thing and I'm going to pull you out, so that they use a whole bunch of stuff, whether that's mosh or whatever. And then like their whole engage is just gone. Was that happenstance or was it planned?
Totally planned out. Yeah. We planned all that out.
Totally got it. Good deal. Excellent. Well, any particular moments that you guys want to highlight that you really enjoyed about the match tonight? And we'll start with Brogdon.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'll go with the second game just because the first game, I don't remember a whole lot from it. But yeah, the one you pointed out was the Chromie kind of bait on the, I guess, the right side hard camp like ours. And then also, I think that last fight on the Immortal, the Chromie got tossed and then like immediate time stopped. So like, just like the Chromie baits, and then it like they use a lot of stuff, or like we're able to like follow up, re-engage off of that. So yeah, that was fun to kind of run that and like just play with cue ball as well, because we don't get to play with him a whole lot.
Right on. Wiggity, any particular moment you wanted to kind of just highlight, if you will?
Really just the second game. I just enjoyed the communication between us and the time stops, like you said, the pulls almost 100%, and then even the web wraps. Like everything was just was really well. Like just isolating them, calling everything on our side, the comms and everything. So this was a fun. The second game was fun. A lot of fun, actually. It was tough. It wasn't an easy one.
Almost a game three.
It was not an easy one. Yeah, it was definitely. It felt like one of the harder ones for that map. Usually we do really well on that map, so they gave us a little trouble there.
Yeah, there were definitely moments that could have gone in their favor. That bottom keep, if they'd gotten that down, I think a lot of this game becomes significantly more difficult for you guys. But you stuck it out. You had the determination and the stall tactics from a lot from Chromie, but of course Anubrak and Blaze both providing value in that as well to be successful, get that to a victory and the domination point. So congrats on that. Let's go ahead and get into any shout outs you've got.
Shout out, well, first to Cue Ball for subbing in, and shout out to everyone else on the Almost Legends, especially Asian, my boo.
Shout outs to you for streaming us. Like I said, again, sorry we can't get it to a game 3, but playoffs are coming up. Should be pretty exciting. I think we're like tied for first again. So that'll be fun. Like the next couple, I don't know when they start, but like a few weeks from now. And I think like we have some good games coming up, like with some higher teams, like maybe top 5 teams coming up like next week and the week after. So it'll be a fun like kind of ride out to the playoffs.
Yeah, we're ready to meet Die for Vision again in the playoffs. I'm gonna go ahead and call them out.
Awesome. Well, good luck. Obviously, season coming to an end in the relatively near future. So, wrapping up the second half of the season. it always gets a little dicey when you get close to the playoffs and you're trying to calculate, well, who are we likely to play against, and is there any extra special stuff we need to look for, or do we want to dial it back and not show off too many unique strategies we've got. So good luck with that.
Thanks.
All right, well, have a good night, guys, and don't forget to report your match.
All right. Thanks for casting.
Yeah, thanks again. Have a good one.
All right, so 2-0, Almost Legends Ruby coming in with the victory, and that gives them an additional point in their standings. So we'll take a quick look at those standings again. As we see there, they were 21 out of the overall standings there, 21. That gives them 3 total points to tie it up with Die for Vision, 24-24. Your false commands, I know I'm gonna get yelled at, but just so you know, Lisa, you could go to your own chat, copy it from there, and bring it here, just as an FYI, if you want to do that. All right, so let's see. Going to see who we've got live, and see if we've got some more NGS action going on. That one's me. Well, let's see how far this game is going. That's muted, so that's good. This is game number 2. So you know what we're going to do? We are going to go to... we're going to go see Bloody Drapes. Now, why are we going to go see Bloody Drapes? Because it's a regen team that is playing. So, you know what? Let's go show some support for the organization here. So... Quick recap, Almost Legends Ruby 2, Nexus Cats 0. Thanks everybody for being here. I do appreciate all of the friends being here tonight, all of the music community, and the Nexus Gaming Series community members as well. Thank you for stopping by. If you haven't already, make sure that you give a follow to those streamers I mentioned earlier, Melissa Brett Music, Lisa Ritchie Music, and HK Nuff. And of course 52 Maple Syrup, even though he doesn't really stream, he loves to have the followers. So yeah, it's a short stream, Nomi. There's not a lot for me to do after this. So we're gonna go ahead and raid over to Bloody Drapes. Yep, that's what's happening. And listen, we don't have a raid call because I just don't. Sorry, I don't. So thanks everybody for being here tonight. Have a wonderful evening, and you know what? If you want to come and see me modding a stream tomorrow, check out Lisa's stream tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time for some chill original music. Have a good night, guys.